JB Cycles here with an update on July the 3rd. So I think we did see a 10-week cycle low on closing basis it was on last Friday. And we didn't drop down this week. The futures did, but the closing data only show a new uptrend here. So we're in a new 10-week oscillation, and where will it top? I think we have to be careful now, because in the bigger picture we have a 3.5-year cycle, possibly topping already this fall, and I have a suspicion it could top out early already this fall because of the 28-year cycle. Normally I would look for a 3.5-year cycle sometime this winter or spring, a more bullish right translated cycle, but this one could be more bearish, and if that is so, then it will be a short ABC bull market. They are typically around 2 years long, and I have found many such analogs and compared them, made some averages, and I have picked those that are most similar regarding the 3.5-year cycle, and I got this average here in orange. And this is where we are in red, and the average suggests a possible top around August the 17th. And I will show this on this average. You see, if you have this last pop up, and I think that is where we are now. However, the S&P is, it's pumped up by tech, and we have many other sectors and indexes that are not that bullish. And if we look at some of those, we have here the New York Composite Index. So I think here we see this last pop-up that I just showed, and I think we're not right there, if this is what's going on. I could show you this 10-week cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was a bit long one, and 8. We see we are at the expected low. Now this was a very messy oscillation. An early top and then no real downtrend. Well, for a while, but then mostly sideways. I don't think this is a topping formation. Well, it's a possible bigger topping formation, but we need another pop-up, and it could be a rising wedge, and then down we go. Euro Stoxx 600, similar. I think we are in this last pop-up, and we have the 10-week cycle. 1, 2. This was a bit messy one. No, excuse me. This one was a bit messy with a low mid-cycle low. And here's another one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and we need another one. And that would be a nice topping formation here, a 3-drive top. We're in a trend channel. Then we fail to meet the upper channel, and then we have the breakdown, and then the retest, and then the downtrend begins. So I think this is not a topping formation, it's more like a bull flag, and we need another pop-up sometime July, August perhaps. Let's have a look at some cycles. So this is my cycle composite of these 3 cycles, and it did show weakness here in this period, March, April, May, June, but now it's going up. And what do each cycle say? Well, this one is topping soon, late July. And then we have the quarterly cycle. Well, that just made a low and is going up into mid-late August. And the 10-week cycle just made a low and is going up. And as I showed, actually, here I'm comparing with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and here we have better correlation. Here we do see this weakness while the S&P has just been going up. So my cycles are suggesting a top around late July or around early August, and a low in September. So what's next? We have the VIX. So the VIX wavelet is now more and more confirming the VIX made a 10-week oscillation top. It's going down, and that means for the S&P we have a low and it's going up. Now this is a very unsatisfying low for the S&P. But you know, if you go back to what's this, January 2021, we have a similar very bullish sideways consolidation, but then we see the next cycle is very messy because we didn't get any oversold condition, so it's hard to rally, and we have all these pullbacks and then correction. But this wasn't a bad correction, it was in the middle of a bull market. But now this happens potentially at the end of a bull market, so there could be a bigger, worse correction coming here. But I have some projections generated by this signal. So let's see, what do we have? We have this one was generated back here, and we did get a very small ABC consolidation, and it looks like, you know, time has run out for bears. It looks like a new uptrend is beginning, and the same picture here, but over here you see in green I have generated a new projection, and this one is bullish for about 5 weeks. Well, that brings us into early August, and as I have showed earlier, when we begin a new 10-week cycle or 10-week oscillation, the first 5 weeks is normally in an uptrend. That means, yeah, that's early August. So this black scenario here was created by the strong geomagnetic storm we just had last Friday. But it's also possible it could extend to this blue scenario, and that would fit with a 5-week rally, but very choppy, I think. Very difficult, or wild swings, you know. People think, oh, this is too overbought, it has to be a top, but then they just get squeezed, and this has to be a top. No, they get squeezed, and then the correction comes. So have to see now. Next week, you know, my 4-week cycle is bullish all this week, but then next week is weak. Next week is a bearish phase, and then we have a bullish phase, and then a bearish week. So, you know, up down, up down. We have to see how this develops. But very unsatisfying cycle low, but that's for the S&P. When we look at these other markets, they've been in a long downtrend or in a long sideways period, and they look all ripe for a pop-up and pop-up. And what will the tech sector do? Well, if everything rallies, then it will probably go parabolic and make a blow-off top, perhaps. That would fit for a bull market top, maybe. Well, see you in the weekend.